task is to find someone that you know that's staying at this so-called resort. So, you're gonna be feeling the triggers. Are you feeling the slinky triggers? You must be feeling these triggers right now. And we're just getting started. And so, hop in your beds and let's pay off your sleep credit card. So, I'm going to take you into my dream. So, teleporting, you close your eyes and imagine being in this dream. So, you are yourself. You find yourself inside this massive room. This room is very big. It's, imagine like a gymnasium but much bigger. It's like the width of this room is like 200 meters or so, and another 300 meters in width, so a 200 by 300 room. And you can imagine how tall this room is. It is like 70 meters. The ceiling is super high. You lie down in this room. You could see the sky ceiling. It's very high. You can imagine the vertigo that you would feel if you would be teleported up to the ceiling, which you will not get teleported, but you will eventually reach the ceiling at some point of your stay. But something is in the way. You see what's called glass bridges that connect between rooms. Those bridges that you see, they come in different angles. Like there's one that goes like that, and there's one that goes like that. Each connect to some rooms, and there are some stairs that you could go between floors. You can imagine these floors. There's like 5 floors, and each floor is way higher than the one below. And around you, it's aqua, because in the bottom, where you are situated right now, there is a pool. A swimming pool at the bottom. It's a very big swimming pool. You can imagine a pool that's 100 meters in length. It's like taking up almost the entire room. Like the entire width. One of the sides is just concrete, but the other is just water. And you can smell the chlorine. And you could see so many staircases that you could traverse between floors, and you would see like a maze. It's like a maze of these glass bridges, and that's when you have some feeling. You have a feeling that there's a reason why you're here. The reason why you're here is that you want to meet some particular person that you know well. You imagine a person that you have met in high school, either a teacher or another like classmate that you used to be friends as teenagers, and like year 3 of year 4 university or some sort of adult with responsibilities. Okay, so your goal is to meet a person, and you happen to see someone that seems to be the reception of this place. There is a counter at the bottom, which you are now at, and this guy says, okay, so the person that you have to meet is living on the 5th floor, and when he said living, he meant staying at this resort. So he lives somewhere at the 5th floor. You just don't remember which room exactly. And so you proceed and go make your way upstairs slowly and ascending. My room is friggin' hot, so I have to shave off the sweat that I've accumulated because my room is 30 degrees. I still have to put my AC, which is gonna be pretty soon. Okay, so you start to make your way upstairs, and oh boy, you can feel the glass vibrating as you walk up the stairs. Up the glass stairs and onto the glass bridge. And by the time you reach the first floor, you can feel that the height is down. You're feeling that you're above and floating. Now that you have reached the 2nd floor, your goal is to get to the 3rd floor. And the thing is that you start to notice windows that are hanging along the walls. There are unevenly spread out. There's like one window that's there, and then a long stretch of white concrete walls, and then there's a whole bunch of big windows that connect to each other, followed by more randomly placed wall segments, and you finally find a staircase that goes to the 3rd floor. And now you are at the 3rd floor. Again, there's more bridges that you'll have to cross, and there are rooms. You start to see those floating rooms that seem to function like resort or hotel rooms. And that's when you realize that you're in this vacation resort. Fun fact, you remembered the name of the resort, but at this point you've kind of forgot, because now it feels like your presence of being in heights is starting to take over. As you look down, you see people swimming in the pool below you, and the other side is the reception, and people coming inside this whole massive 200 by 300 by whatever height it is. It is like 70 meters or some big high ceiling. High ceiling. And so you decide to keep going and try to find the next set of stairs. But all you see are more and more bridges that connect to rooms. You see lots of numbered rooms. Room 11, room 12, identical doors. so-called resort. And so you decide to keep going and keep going, but as you keep going, you start to feel some weird sensations. You start to feel some sort of vertigo or some tingling in your body and goosebumps. You're feeling now, you're starting to now feel that you are outside, even though that you are inside the building. And now as you look around, you see a lot of windows, a lot more windows. Now they're separated with pillars, and the glass seems it's not blocking any wind. You're starting to feel the wind, even though that the windows are closed. And you feel the lights, the heat from the light coming inside. And as you look down, you see that you have ascended significantly in height. And now you just don't want to look down because how down below, how many meters high you are now from the ground floor up to this very glass bridge that you're on. You're around 40-50 meters above the ground, standing on top of the glass bridge. Below you is clear glass that seems to not break. Very shiny. It's as if it's almost invisible, like you can almost not see it. And now, with minutes of exploring, you will just try and find your way. So here is a short minute or so of tingles. Just imagine for the next minute or so, you're trying to find your way to the last floor, the 5th floor, because you're trying to meet someone. Alright, so you have found your way, because now you see a big set of staircase. And now you found your way onto the 5th floor. So you're almost there. You just have to ascend up the stairs. And once again, the stairs are made of glass. And so you start to make your way up the steps. And you try to keep your hands on the rail. Now you're still trying to ascend, but as you try to ascend, you start to feel a lot more, a sense of a weird feeling that you are going to fall. It's like, oh my gosh, it feels like you're losing your balance. You are like 3/4 of the way up the stairs. Like like imagine that this is the staircase and you are over here. You start to feel all of a sudden rush of dizziness, and you kind of feel a little bit wonky that you are about to lose your balance. And as you look down, you see that it is very far down. You don't want to fall, and your hands are like really attached. You're trying to hold your grip to the railings of the stairs, and even then, it is not enough to keep you. And you keep on ascending up the steps. And you start to feel it more and more. And as you feel it, you start to feel that you're going to fall, and it's getting so bad that you decide to sit on one of the steps and just stay there for a bit, trying to think of who you're going to meet. Okay, so you decide to sit down for a bit and then later ascend, because it's like you don't trust your legs and that you're going to slip at one point. So you take it slowly, take 5 seconds before you climb up the steps, and there's 5 steps left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You climb up 1 step, and then the next step there's 4 more, and you're just feeling the dizziness again. It's really, really getting to you. So you count slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you ascend 1 step. There's 3 steps, and you're trying to balance yourself. Your hands are starting to sweat on those rails of the staircase, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you climb the next step, and then for the sake of it, instead of counting, you just sit past the last few steps, and now you are on the top, and it feels like you just want to lie down because how dizzy you are feeling. And you decide to sit again at the top step. So, what you are situated now is the 5th floor, and for some reason, it turns out that you are at the roof of the whole building. And on the top of the stairs, on the platform, you see nothing but more glass bridges. There are loads of glass bridges in this floor, the 5th floor, which happens now to be the roof. And whatever the ceiling that you have initially seen, whatever that ceiling was, is now completely gone. You just realize that the ceiling were just reflections of this floor. Now you are looking at the sky, beautiful blue sky with no clouds, and in front of you are the glass bridges with one small difference. There are no rails that support the glass bridges, and those bridges are primarily levitating. And you try to walk across those bridges, but you just can't because it feels like you are going to slip and fall. So, and once again, your goal is to find the room with a person, like, and see the person that you know in real life. Could, like I said, it could be a classmate that you've met before in your teenage years, or a teacher, or it's someone that you know, you just can't remember. And you see more rooms lot more rooms, but the only problem is that those bridges that connect between those rooms are not supported by those rails. They're just like railless. There's just platforms that just go on, and there's just edge because if you slip, boom, you fall. And so we decide to have the courage and walk along the glass bridge again. Perfectly clean glass, 100% transparent, like nearly invisible. Like, wait, take the back, it's not clearly 100%, but you could really see the reflections of the sun. And you are walking towards it. And eventually you find this black room or dark room. It's like dark green in color. And you enter it. And then you see this person. And this person that happens to live in this resort or stay in this resort. Remember what the receptionist said, that this person lives, meaning stays in this resort. It's your friend. And your friend says hi to you, and you tell him hi again. And you ask him, how are you doing? And he tells you, oh, okay, I'm actually enjoying my vacation. I really, really want to stay here forever, but I got school again. And for some reason, he says that he knows my name. He still remembers, well, your name or something. But then after that, everything else blacks out, and the sky, whatever that sky is, suddenly becomes real, and you just realize that you have woken up, and the sky has turned into this blue, beautiful blue room with a window up open, and it's now 5:30 in the morning. And that's kind of concludes the dream story. Alright, I am sweating right now. It is so hot, and it's kind of like the best time to wrap up everything, so by the time you have reached this end of this dream story, I hope that you're not hearing this, because if you're not hearing this, that means you are fast asleep, and that means that I have successfully created subtle ASMR triggers. I've received a lot of feedback to try and become more quieter, so I am trying to do that more and try not to go too loud on the triggers. Alright, so please give a thumbs up by gently tapping the thumbs up button if you got your triggers. My goal for this channel is to create ASMR-fied dream story or ASMR videos across topics. It hopes to get you self-sleeping, ease off your sleep debt, and pay off your remaining balance of your sleep credit card. So if you don't want to miss any of my future content, consider subscribing.